Okay, this lecture is to talk about the IMAP protocol, which is another protocol that is related to email. I'll venture to say that this is probably the shortest lecture that you will have all semester, but it is a protocol we need to at least talk about. So IMAP talks about Internet Message Access Protocol, and its purpose is to access messages that reside on an IMAP server. Now, often these, quote, messages are email messages, but they can actually be files or other types of messages or data. So there was an original IMAP. It was never formally released as an RFC. So the first RFC we have is RFC 1064, which was created in mid 1988, and that was for the IMAP 2 protocol. A little less than 3 years later, IMAP 3 comes out. It's described in RFC 1203, and then 3.5 years or so after that, IMAP 4 comes out and is actually described in 2 RFCs. If I recall correctly, RFC 1730 actually talks about the IMAP protocol, and RFC 1731 talks about the authentication process related to IMAP. So it's just another protocol for retrieving email. The last thing I want to talk about is IMAP email storage. We talked about that in the POP lecture. With IMAP, the messages always stay on the server. So the big advantage of that is you can view your email from multiple devices or multiple locations and have a consistent view of your mailbox. Early on, I did some experimenting with IMAP on my iPhone, my laptop, and my iPad, and I get them all three up looking at my mailbox. And I would read an email on my laptop, let's say, and within a few seconds, it indicated on my iPad and my iPhone that I've read that message. If I delete a message on my iPad, a few seconds later that message disappears on my iPhone and my laptop. So you truly do have a very consistent and timely view of your mailbox and the messages. And of course the disadvantage to this is the same disadvantage we discussed in the POP protocol lecture, which is that mail takes up space on the server. So that's the few things that I wanted to talk about related to the IMAP protocol as it relates to email.